The story of aviation is a tale of innovation, ambition, and human perseverance. Long before the Wright brothers' historic flight in 1903, people dreamed of flying and sought ways to achieve this dream. The journey toward modern airlines began long before powered flight, rooted in ancient myths and early experiments with lighter-than-air flight. The earliest attempts at human flight involved balloons. In 1783, the Montgolfier brothers, Joseph Michel and Jacques Etienne, made the first successful manned flight in a hot air balloon in France. Their work captured the imagination of many and laid the groundwork for future developments in aviation. Hot air balloons quickly became popular, and early pioneers like Jean-Pierre Blanchard made notable flights across the English Channel and the Alps, demonstrating the potential of ballooning. Following balloons, the next significant development was the advent of airships or dirigibles. In the early 19th century, inventors began experimenting with rigid structures to provide greater control and stability. Ferdinand von Zeppelin, a German pioneer, made substantial advancements with his Zeppelin airships. The Zeppelin Company, founded in 1900, developed a series of large, rigid airships that could carry passengers over long distances. These airships were used extensively during World War I and the early years of World War II, offering a glimpse of the potential for air travel. Despite these advancements, the focus on heavier-than-air flight persisted. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were a time of intense experimentation with gliders and powered aircraft. In 1891, Otto Lilienthal, a German aviation pioneer, made significant progress with his glider designs, demonstrating controlled flight and contributing valuable data to the field. Lilienthal's work influenced many subsequent inventors, including the Wright brothers. Wilbur and Orville Wright made history in December 1903 with their successful powered flight in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. This achievement marked the beginning of the modern aviation era. Their Wright Flyer was the first aircraft to achieve sustained, controlled flight, and their innovative work in aerodynamics and control systems laid the foundation for future aircraft design. The early 20th century saw rapid advancements in aviation technology and the beginning of commercial aviation. By the 1910s, aircraft manufacturers and entrepreneurs began exploring the potential for using airplanes for passenger and cargo transport. The first commercial airline, St. Petersburg-Tampa Airboat Line, began operations in 1914, offering scheduled flights across Tampa Bay in Florida. Although this service was short-lived, it demonstrated the viability of air travel for commercial purposes. World War I accelerated advancements in aviation technology as military forces around the world invested heavily in aircraft for reconnaissance, combat, and transport. The conflict led to significant improvements in aircraft performance, including the development of more powerful engines and more effective aerodynamics. After the war, many pilots and engineers turned their attention to civilian aviation, seeking to capitalize on the advancements made during the conflict. The 1920s and 1930s saw the rise of commercial aviation as a viable industry. The introduction of airmail services in the United States, starting with the Air Mail Act of 1925, played a crucial role in establishing the commercial aviation sector. Airlines such as Transcontinental Air Transport, TAT, and Pan American World Airways, Pan AM, began offering regular passenger flights, connecting major cities and expanding the reach of air travel. In Europe, companies like Imperial Airways and Deutsche Lufthansa followed suit, offering international flights and further promoting the concept of global air travel. The 1930s also saw the development of more advanced aircraft designs, including the first all-metal, pressurized cabins, and the development of larger, more efficient airliners. The Douglas DC-3, introduced in 1936, became one of the most iconic and successful airliners of its time, revolutionizing air travel with its durability, range, and passenger comfort. The DC-3 played a crucial role in the growth of commercial aviation and established standards for modern airliner design. World War II brought about another surge in aviation technology, with innovations in aircraft design, navigation systems, and safety features. The post-war era saw the transition from military to civilian applications of these advancements. The introduction of the jet engine in the late 1940s and early 1950s marked a turning point in aviation history. Jet-powered aircraft, such as the Boeing 707 and the Douglas DC-8, revolutionized air travel by offering faster speeds, greater range, and more efficient operations. This era also saw the rise of major airline companies and the expansion of international routes. The 1960s and 1970s were characterized by continued innovation and growth in the airline industry. The development of wide-body aircraft, such as the Boeing 747, ushered in the era of mass air travel. The 747, with its distinctive hump and large passenger capacity, became an icon of commercial aviation and played a crucial role in making air travel more accessible to the general public. The introduction of this aircraft marked a shift towards more affordable and widespread air travel, transforming the way people moved around the world. During this period, airlines also began to focus on improving passenger services and amenities. The rise of in-flight entertainment, better food service, and more comfortable seating contributed to the growing popularity of air travel. Additionally, the deregulation of the airline industry in the United States in 1978, with the passage of the Airline Deregulation Act, led to increased competition, lower fares, and the emergence of new carriers. This shift towards a more competitive market helped to democratize air travel further, making it more accessible to a broader segment of the population. The late 20th and early 21st centuries saw continued evolution in the airline industry, driven by technological advancements and changing consumer expectations. The development of more fuel-efficient aircraft, such as the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and the Airbus A350, aimed to address environmental concerns and reduce operating costs.